Hey everyone, welcome back to our Python Beginner series. In the last video, we explored the random module in Python. Today, we are diving into another essential built-in module, which is the datetime module. This module allows us to work with dates and times and timestamps effortlessly. So let's get started. So first thing that we need to do is we need to import this module. Now, this module provides us with classes for working with dates and time. So it has classes to work with dates and times. Now, we have not discussed the concept of classes. We will be looking at what are classes, what is object-oriented programming in the upcoming videos. But now, at this point, it is something that you should just keep in the back of your mind that, okay, the datetime module has classes. It comprises of classes. So now let's say we want to get the current date and time. I want to get the current date and time of my system. Maybe I want to know the exact time and date when the code is executed. So for that, you have a class called, so in the datetime module, we have a class here called date time, and this has a function called as now. And what it returns is your date and time. So we can go ahead and save it in some variable. Let's say current underscore date. And now let's print current underscore date here. So this is what we are getting. This is the date and this is the time. Hours, minutes, and seconds. Now we can also extract specific parts like the year, month, and date from the date time object that we have here. So let's say from this current underscore date, I want to fetch the year. So for that, we have an attribute called year, and this will give me the year. This is not a function. This is an attribute. There's no parenthesis after year. So it's not a function. So the current date has the year of 2025. Similarly, we can check the month. So that is this March is the month. If you want to check the date or the day, you can say day 11th March. And similarly for R, we have current date and dot R, current date dot minute, and finally current date dot second. So you can see it is giving us the hour, the minute, and the second. So this is useful when we need to work with specific date or time values. We can create a custom date and time as well. So let's see how that can be done. So I can say date time, which is my module, dot date time, the class name, and this takes certain inputs. You can see this is the doc string. So year, month, day, and then these are optional. If you want to give the hour, the minute, the second, microsecond, all of these are optional. So let's try. So the year is maybe 2025, 12, maybe 25th of December, 2025. That's our date. And time is 10 o'clock, 10:30. Okay. Seconds I'm mentioning as 0 here. Let's assign it to a variable custom underscore date. And then I can go ahead and print custom underscore date. So this is a date that I have just created, a custom date. 25th of December, 2025, 10th. Sometimes we need to calculate the difference between the two dates, that how many days are spanning between the two dates. And that's where we have a class called as timedelta. So let's first import that class. So we can say from datetime import, and we are importing this class timedelta. Now, if you don't want to do this step, you could have simply said date time dot time delta, like the way we were calling date time a class as well. But I don't want to, every time I'm calling a function in time delta, I don't want to put date time dot time delta and dot and then the function name. So with this way of importing a module, what happens? You don't, when you are calling any function which is written in time delta, you just say time delta dot and the function name. So you can avoid all the typing with this. So let's just go ahead and run it. So let's say I want to add 10 days to today's date. So for that, first let's fetch today's date. You already know how to do that. So for that, we have the date time module, and I have this date time class in that. And then I have a function called as now, which gives me the current or today's date and time. Now I want to add 10 days to it, 10 days from now. So I can say today plus time delta, and we need to add 10 days. So this time delta takes days as an input. So you can just specify days is equal to the number of days that you want to add to your current date. And if we want, we can save it to a variable. Let's call it future underscore date. Then we can print future date like this. And you can see this date is 10 days from today. We can also fetch the past date. So let me take this from here and maybe I just want to subtract 7 days from today. So I can say day 7 and this is my past date. This is our past date. So if you look at the type of these past date or future date variables, they are of this datetime dot datetime data type. Now, let's say we want to convert the dates to a string. Maybe we want to print it on an application, the date. So it would be good if we can format it to the string and then print it on the front end of the website. So for that, we can use a function called as strftime. So if let's say the past date is past date, if I want to convert it to a string, I can say past underscore date dot the function name, which is strftime. And the input that this takes is the format code. So the code here would be %y. Then I want my dates to be separated by this dash. So %y stands for year, full year, capital Y is for full year. So if it is 2025, then it will, the year is 2025 as it is here in this case. It will give us 2025 here, the complete 2025. Then %m is for month. It will give us the month in 03 format. And we want it to be separated by dash here. Day is D, %d. Then if you want R also, you can just put a space here, %h. Capital H is for R. Like if it is 14, then it means it's 2 p.m. So, and then let's say we want colon, then capital M, which stands for minutes, and colon again, and capital S, which is for seconds. So this is the format in which I want my string to be published or printed. Now, I can go with other format also. Maybe I can have the day first and then the month and then the year. So let's go ahead and run it. So the output, as you can see, is a string. It's enclosed in single brackets. You have year. So this format, whatever format you have specified, in the same format, we have got our string. So this is your month, this is your day, and our minute and seconds. If I change this, maybe I make this PM and I'll move the year here. You see, accordingly, it is giving us the output. So now it is the day first, then the month, and then the year. So this is a string data type. If we save it to a variable, str underscore date and check. First, let's print the str underscore date, and also let's check the type of this variable str underscore date. You can see it's a string data type. Now let's say we want to convert the string back to date. How can we do it? So we can say dot date time. This is the class. This is day first date time is the module. Second time is the class. Followed by dot and then the function name, which is strptime, strptime. And then it takes two inputs. So one is the string that you want to convert to date and the format of the date in the string. So that the Python knows that, okay, this one is supposedly the day, this one is month, and this one is year. So let's say str underscore date and then the format of this string right here. So this is the format. First we have the day, then the month, then the year, then space, then hour, colon, after that, then minute, and then second. So now what are we trying to do with this step? We are telling the Python interpreter that this is how you have to decode this date, the string date. And what it is giving us in the output, it is giving us a date time object. And if we print it directly or maybe save it in a variable, converted date, and let's just go ahead and print it. We have got our date here. If you check the type of this converted date variable, you can see it is an object of date time class, or you can say it is of the date time data type. So this is very useful. It comes really handy when dealing with user inputs or log files. So yeah, that's the complete introduction to Python's datetime module. We covered getting the current time. Then we talked about creating custom dates. Here we created a custom date using datetime class. Then we talked about calculating the date differences and formatting the dates. So these are all essential for working with real world applications. In the next video, we'll explore another important built-in module, which is the OS module, which helps us interact with operating system. Don't miss the next one. See you soon.